Hey guys, Steve here from Bloom Audio. We've been waiting for a new flagship digital audio player from Astell&Kern for a couple years now. And SP3000 is here, bringing us the newest, fastest, biggest player from A&K yet. But is it the best? If you're familiar with Astell&Kern players, you probably know the basics here. Astell&Kern is known for these players with immaculately tuned, incredible sound and a build quality and design that's head and shoulders above the competition. But when it comes to some of the usability aspects, the speed of the OS and performance, they lag behind a little bit. With SP3000, it seems they had two main goals. Now, one was introducing the latest DAC from AKM in a quad DAC configuration. The other was a complete overhaul of the OS and design and upgrading those performance aspects. So let's take a closer look and see if Astell&Kern accomplished those goals. We received a standalone demo unit of the SP3000, so we don't have the full retail package here today. But it will come with an A& Ultima type unboxing experience with a really nice box and great accessory pack, including a case. The device itself is bigger than most previous Astell&Kern players. So if you want to look, I brought an SP2000T. You can kind of size up here. The big thing is just the screen is bigger, and the whole width and height of the device is a little bit bigger as well. You can also see that in comparison to an iBasso DX320, which the DX320 is a little bit bigger, but not as much bigger as previous ones. It's pretty heavy. That might impact the pocketability along with the size a little bit. And it has this smooth mirrored, it looks amazing. You can kind of see the way the texture, depending on how the light hits it, the texture on the back is kind of comes and goes. The physical design is all top-notch, but what is the real game changer are the interface and performance improvements. So you can see here they've updated the way that you browse through albums. You still have a kind of a traditional option here, but it's very fast, smooth, very easy to get through all of this. And then like other recent ones, they've added the ability to access and download various apps right through the device. But what's really improved here is the performance in loading and using those apps. As you can see, I did not cut any of that video. That was the load time on this, which is much improved. And you can see how much faster albums and playlists load up with the new Snapdragon 665 SoC. Just makes a huge difference. Astell&Kern is known for tunings that blur the line between reference and romantic, and SP3000 is the best example of this yet. In isolation, the sound is clear, transparent, and neutral, but when you listen in comparison to some other sources, you start to notice the subtle tweaks they made to the sound. The bass is just a little bit richer, a little bit stronger than truly neutral, while in the treble, there's just that strong presence, but a liquidy smoothness to it that just kind of mellows out some of the peakiness that could occur. And in the mids, you have this subtle warmth and added intimacy to the vocal that, again, is just outside of a truly referenced sound. And then there's the imaging. SP3000 gives you this wide, deep, genuinely three-dimensional soundstage with this vivid holographic imaging, really strong placement and great separation of instruments, along with that subtle sense of blending in the space. and you put this all on this pitch black background, and this vivid, immersive image is not just probably the best I've heard in a digital audio player, but also highly competitive with a lot of DACs in the same price range. In terms of power management and delivery, SP3000 is great with IEMs, nearly perfect. We threw every IEM we had handy at it, even with single-digit impedance and 100 dB plus sensitivity, was still dead silent, black background, zero hiss. With over-ear headphones, the more sensitive to moderately sensitive headphones did great. Focal Utopia or Stellia, Meze 109 Pro, Meze Elite, those all sounded really good. When you start getting into a little bit harder to drive headphones like Hi-Fi Man Aria or the Audeze MM500, still did really well in balance. But for those top tier headphones, Susvara, even Stealth, those really hard to drive ones, SP3000 isn't going to be your pick for that. But overall, it does a solid job with a pretty good range of headphones. For comparison, we brought in the Astell&Kern SP2000T and the iBasso DX320. There were two main places we wanted to talk about. One is the sound, tuning, performance there, and the other is the user interface and the OS performance. In terms of sound, SP3000 is a clear evolution from SP2000 and SP2000T. You still achieve that balance of strong detail and somewhat analog-like character, and it really exceeds what SP2000T does there without the need for the tubes in there. Now, SP2000T, even in the full tube mode, feels a little bit more neutral, a little more incisive than SP3000. The bass is more neutral. The treble can be a little bit sharper than SP3000's smoother treble. And some of this might be a matter of preference between the more euphonic sounding SP3000 and the more incisive 2000T. But in terms of the spatial characteristics, the soundstage, and the imaging, SP3000 really shines there and really demonstrates a strong advantage. In some ways, where SP3000 was sort of an evolution of SP2000 and 2000T's sound, DX320 was just kind of aiming at a different target. 320 is more neutral overall. It feels the most linear in the bass. But there are some aspects where it's a little closer to the SP3000, like with that sort of liquidy smoothness in the treble, the balance of presence without fatigue or sibilance. DX320 gets a little bit closer there than SP2000T does. But again, SP3000 demonstrates a clear advantage in the spatial aspects and the imaging and presenting just a bigger sound stage. In terms of UI, DX320 has, since its release, basically been the gold standard for digital audio player user interface. It's indistinguishable from using a modern top-tier smartphone in terms of the responsiveness, the speed of loading apps, and all of that. Astell&Kern players definitely were at a clear disadvantage in terms of that speed and responsiveness. With SP3000, Astell&Kern basically catches up to DX320, where the responsiveness of the OS, the speed of loading apps, and all of those things are much improved in SP3000 and basically now are on par with the DX320. And if you're someone who is into a player-first operation rather than the more open user interface of the DX320 and other iBasso players, SP3000 has the advantage there. Of course, DX320 still has the advantage of being able to install virtually any app using standard app stores and all of that kind of thing. But that's more about the approach that you prefer rather than one player having a clear advantage over the other. SP3000 gives us just about everything we could have asked for from Astell&Kern. If it had been basically an SP2000 with a faster UI and some improvements there, I think that would have met expectations for a lot of people. But the level to which they elevated the performance, along with the incredible sound coming from the new AKM quad DAC, means SP3000 just blows away our expectations and sets a new standard for digital audio players. Thanks for watching. You can check out SP3000 and a lot of other great products at bloomaudio.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more hi-fi personal audio content.